Inc. just posted some pretty impressive Q3 numbers in their earnings report. And in my opinion, this is the catalyst that will take C3 AI to some levels that have not been seen in quite a while, especially after the terrible performance it's seen over the past couple of months. So in this video, we're going to kick it off by going over some of the highlights from this earnings report. We're going to keep that short and sweet. You guys can always go look at the full report for yourselves. We're just going to go over some highlights for the purposes of your time and my time. We'll then jump into a CNBC interview that I watched in real time with C3AI's new CEO, Stephen Hickian. Just dropped on CNBC. We're not going to watch. It's only like 4 minutes long, but again, for the purposes of time, you guys can go watch the whole thing if you'd like. We're going to watch a minute or so of it. And then, of course, we'll dive into the charts, talk about C3 AI. I really want to focus on the longer-term macro view of this stock, especially on the charts, because I think that this stock has a lot of making up to do. As I just alluded to, I think that this earnings report will be the catalyst that sparks, that just rises this little C3 AI phoenix from the ashes. And I'll talk to you guys, of course, as you can see in front of us, about some of the very optimistic, underlying optimistic, but possible price targets that I would not be surprised to see over the course of 2026. I hope you gain some value from this. Give the video a like if you do. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. My name's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to Waves Capital. Let's dive in to C3 AI Inc. All right, so once again, we will be diving into the charts, talking about some very exciting potential price targets for AI stock. But let's kick it off with some highlights from this report. Enterprise AI software company C3 AI met Wall Street's revenue expectations in Q3, but sales fell by 20.3% year on year to $75.15 million. The company expects next quarter's revenue to be around $76 million. Close to analyst estimates, its non-GAAP loss of 25 cents per share was 24.8% above analyst consensus estimates. That's what you like to see. C3 AI Q3 highlights: revenue 75 mil on an analyst expectation of 75 mil, so right in line. Adjusted EPS, as we just covered. Adjusted operating income was negative $42.22 million versus the analyst estimate of $52.63 million. Again, good stuff. Revenue guidance for the full year is just under $300 million at the midpoint, roughly in line with what analysts were expecting. Operating margin down 150%, down from 80% in the same quarter last year. New CEO, a lot of the founder. Keep in mind, this past quarter, the founder of the company, Tom Siebel, very old, was going through some pretty traumatic health issues, obviously stepped down. They found the new CEO. So I'm choosing to give them a break here, give them some leeway. And especially as we get into this interview, I was hearing a lot of, I like to see C3AI on, on the CNBC breaking news headlines as well. So momentum is in the right direction. We'll take a look at this interview once again after we go over free cash flow down. Was negative 47 mil compared to negative 34 mil, and market cap of $1.98 billion. Considering they did $75 million in revenue in the quarter, again, operating at a pretty massive loss, which hopefully is reversed over the next few quarters or in the year ahead of us, which seems likely given the fact that once again the CEO seems to be on the right track and has a good head on his shoulders. At least that's what I took from this interview and a few recent interviews that I've seen with him. But again, going to cut them some slack. The stock has been, if you're an investor in AI, you would know that the stock has been absolutely punished this year. So as I've said in previous videos in regard to C3, it seems like the worst is behind us. It would surprise me if anything could happen with this company that would send the stock any lower or shock investors to the downside. It seems to me like the tides have turned, and any news that can come out regarding this company, I know they're looking for an acquisition as well. Just discussed that in the newsletter. I'll shout this out at the end of the video, but just talked about how they were looking for an acquisition, and they are open. So acquisition / merger, they're looking to get bought out. That could be good news for the company, especially given this new trajectory that they're on now. Okay, so let's watch a minute or two of this, then dive into the charts and talk about these price targets, okay? CNBC.
Stephen McKinney. Stephen, it's good to see you. So What's the status of getting the go-to-market motion fixed that really hit the stock earlier, and how did that play out in the quarter?
Yeah, I would say it was a solid quarter with a disciplined execution across sales and go-to-market. What we really saw is acceleration in our federal business. We also saw key blue chip customers, and we saw the ability to go up market as well with some high volume, high value, seven-figure deals. This is despite the headwinds in the federal space with a 43-day shutdown in the government. But overall, I would say I'm very proud of the execution of the C3 AI team.
Stephen Hickey, and I apologize. So, what are you seeing demand-wise in industries right now, particularly when it comes to some of those crucial areas like defense?
Yeah. I have been in back-to-back meetings for the last 90
Little
days
voice crack.
with companies,
Happens to us
customers,
all.
prospects, partners, and a consistent theme is a desire to go faster adopting enterprise AI. And this is across their critical operations. I see this across asset maintenance, supply chain optimization, demand forecasting, and we're really applying this across the federal government, Department of War, and civilian, but also key verticals in energy, healthcare, manufacturing, and key commercial sectors. But a lot of reasons why I joined C3 coming from the federal government is a lot of the focus within federal government right now is to buy commercial off-the-shelf solutions and as well as to focus on adopting AI. C3 does that today. This is the products, this is our core capabilities, and we're built for this moment.
Crushing it. So what he just said there, that's important to keep in mind as well, especially as a CEO who's now looking to secure these government contracts, especially within enterprise AI, which C3AI does. Think Palantir. Veritone is the micro example of that. So glad we have plenty of exposure to both C3 and Veritone in the options and call options portfolio. But keep in mind, call options and common share portfolio. But again, as a former member of the Trump administration, I should say that's good news for C3 AI. It's important to keep in mind that Stephen Ahikian was a former member of the Trump administration prior to hopping on board as the CEO of C3 AI. So again, that doesn't guarantee contracts. That doesn't guarantee that. It kind, in my opinion at least, that does actually guarantee / significantly heighten the odds of C3 locking in some of these government contracts, considering he knows people in the government because he was part of the government. Okay, again, that's just my feeling, but I feel like that's fairly commonsensical. That's C3 AI. Before we jump into the charts, if you want access to that portfolio I was just mentioning, or all of my daily trade alerts and email newsletters, then that's going to be the first link in the description of this video. I'll drop it in a pinned comment as well. My complete portfolio plus daily trade alerts and email newsletters. You get everything that this box here entails. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months, try free for 7 days. The reason I do that is because I'm so confident in the product I provide, and this is what I love to do. So keep in mind, C3 AI is only a small member of the portfolio, as is Bitcoin, some of the other names we talk about here a lot. Veritone as well. Two of the largest holdings in the portfolio right now are actually on holdings in silver, and those have been on absolute fire lately. So keep in mind, diversity is key, regardless of how bullish you may be on a certain stock or how much conviction you may have in a certain sector, AI. Diversity is key. It's important to diversify. That is, over the years, that's probably the primary lesson I've learned over time, is never put all of your eggs in one basket. Always stay diversified. There are plenty of winning trades out there, and the more diverse you are, not only the more upside you're likely to see, but the safer your portfolio is as well. So again, little PSA aside, if you want to join the winning team, if you want to join WavesCap, it's the first link in the description or in the pinned comments. As always, if you're a member of WavesCap, if you're a member of the trading team and newsletter group, then please drop your experience in the comments below. The testimonials do a lot. So thank you if you do that. Thank you if you're a member. If you do want to join, welcome to the team. If not, no worries at all though. Thanks for watching this video. And again, I hope you gained some value from it. C3 AI. We're not even going to go short. You know what? I'll go short term after this. But just looking at this from a long-term perspective, it's pretty likely, again, especially with this fundamental shift in momentum. Again, the fundamental tides turning with the new CEO, with them getting back on track from a company perspective. It looks like just being in this massive multi-year trading range. We started trading, keep in mind, we started trading C3 AI back here before that initial AI pop, because its ticker symbol was AI. This is when everything started booming in the AI sector, was like late 2022. So it's crazy the journey we've been on C3 AI, similar to a lot of names. But anyway, for the past almost 3 years now, C3AI has been in this massive, slightly descending channels, but mostly just this massive trading range. And as of right now, we have just squeaked above and, about to close the week above the line of support on this massive long-term trading range. When we look at one-day RSI, super oversold. When we look at one-day stochastic RSI, curling up off the bottom, but these are both bullish. So 1 week RSI about to break above its exponential moving average. The EMA is this white line where my cursor is hovering. 1 week stochastic RSI curling up off the bottom. When the blue line curls over the red line, that's just a bullish sign. Vice versa, works going down too for bearish. But right now, from a macro long-term perspective, this is shaping up very, very nicely. Bounce off support again. Still have a lot of weekly moving averages to conquer, but those make for nice, easy profit target ranges to keep an eye on when we want to skim some profits or when we want to alter our position. So from here, my price targets get pretty bullish, but I'm pretty darn confident in this. We'll talk about these. We'll talk about these upper regions. This one, we'll cross that bridge when and if we get to it. But for now, I'm really eyeballing, and I have been since we broke below it in July of this year, this line of support, clear line of support on what was an ascending channel. Call that the ascending channel right there. Broken below. We have not yet retested this line of broken support as new resistance. And as if you've traded with me for any meaningful amount of time, you would know that this is what I believe to be the single most efficacious trading pattern in all of trading. There's some secret here. If you don't believe in the validity or efficacy of this pattern, you just haven't been watching enough, or you haven't been looking for it. So my eye is going to be on this line of broken support. I think this will come into play as new resistance. This coincides with my line of conservative long-term resistance. You can see here utilizing 2 touch points instead of that top touch point. This is absolute resistance. This is conservative long-term resistance. This coincides with this line of conservative long-term resistance or macro resistance in mid to late February, just above $40. And can I guarantee that's going to happen? Absolutely not. Do I think it's possible? I absolutely think it's possible. And again, especially if we get the right piece of news, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see us blast, to $40 and beyond over Q1, Q2 of 2026. So that's my take. Again, always remember, this is just my opinion, but my money will always be where my mouth is. And if C3 AI opens lower tomorrow, then I may have to shark up some more call options. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the comments downstairs. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.